Action. All right, what's going on, everyone? So today I have a really special opportunity to give you guys a walkthrough of this professional studio here. This is in South Florida. A lot of my videos are just my own setup, a little bit about what we do, how we've created, what we've done to offer our clients live streaming and different options for that. We are in the studio today here, and this is obviously someone else's space, but what we can do is we can technically break down everything that they have going on. We're in the control room right here now, so this is where everything happens with the switching and all that. So they have their main PC computer hooked up here, and then we have a soundboard, a stream deck, and then the Blackmagic A10 Mini Extreme switcher. So they have a monitor here set specifically just for the cameras. I'll show you the cameras out there. They have 3 Blackmagic cameras coming into the switcher. This is just giving us a multi-view feed of that. And then this is OBS for the LED wall, which is another element that is really super cool because we can play videos up there, we can do slideshows, graphics, pictures, whatever we want to put up there, we do that. We do that through OBS. The Stream Deck here just allows us to select certain songs on Spotify and like go right to a certain timestamp. So they have songs that they use for certain events, and they just press the button and boom, the song starts at a certain timestamp, which is really cool. This audio interface is definitely a little bit more advanced than anything that I've ever worked with. It's an Allen and Heath. Well, Paul's the audio guy, so this is solid, right? Yeah. Paul said this is solid, right? So you have all these inputs here, inputs 1 through 8, and then you can just change 9 to 16, sound effects and inputs. So we have all of our microphones right here, and those are coming into the top here. There's 2 wireless headsets and then 2 wireless handheld microphones. Those are going into there, and then they just have their speakers. And then the computer is hooked up to this as well for our music, right? So again, same thing like my setup, just on a larger scale, right? This soundboard is going into the switcher with an 1/8 inch cable, okay? And that 1/8 inch cable just basically sends the sound from here, the soundboard, to the switcher, right? And then it's giving us a feed. The video feed here is gonna have the audio from this soundboard already fully synced up, right? So we're gonna record the video feed through this. And then at the end of the day, when we press stop recording, we have a feed of all of the cameras with the audio synced up. So that's pretty much everything that's in the control room here. There's some servers and some other stuff over there, but not super duper important. Paul just hit his elbow. So let's talk about this real quick. I feel like for like stages and lighting, just overall, like this does have nice lighting in here. Here, show them the ceiling lights, right? So they have these lights, but the issue with these is that they don't put light directly on the face of the people on the stage, right? So I always bring in an additional light like this. This is an Aperture 300D with a Fresnel spotlight on it here, and just pan over to the stage and you can kind of see what it does here. So that's without the spotlight. That's with the spotlight, right? And that's at 100%, right? So that's all the power it has, but that does create a big, big difference with these Blackmagic cameras that aren't super, super good in low light conditions. I think you don't really want to go above like 3200 ISO with these, but take a look at this. So this one is the signal is sent with a wireless transmitter. And I definitely have had a lot of questions about the wireless transmission systems on the channel as well. It's been nice to get to use this without having to buy it yet. So this is not giving us any latency or any issues with the signal. I watched everything back last night. Everything looks good. Hollyland transmitter, the Blackmagic 6A studio camera, and then the 24-70. Only downside to something like this is that it doesn't have autofocus. So you have to manually focus, you know, pick your shot, set your focus, but come check out the monitor here because it gives you a really good peaking display, right? So there's really no guessing. Like you know what's in focus and what's not just by turning down this dial. So we'll come over here to this camera. Good morning. So this will be our like side angle, our second angle. This is definitely a little bit overkill for what you need for a situation like this, but it's a Blackmagic 12K. This is connected with SDI. So the good thing about having a camera like this with the switcher is that this camera can actually be controlled with the switcher. So if you have the SDI going into the switcher, you can control this camera with the switcher, which is really cool. So we get a nice image out of this. It's been challenging to figure out white balance and stuff like that because I'm a Sony guy, obviously, you know, using Sony cameras, switching over to Blackmagic for stuff like this, it definitely is a little bit of a learning curve. For this setup, it's perfect. So they have a monitor here, which just basically displays a timer, a presentation, whatever is going on the board. If we want to put that onto this screen, we can do that as well. It's great for the speakers who have notes and things they want to follow for their presentation. Last camera over here, same thing as the prior in the center with the wireless transmission, except this one they just have wired with HDMI. So this goes HDMI to the board. Another cool thing about these cameras, like in a studio setting, is that if this camera is selected and this camera is going into the program feed, this lights up red. So if you're out here and you're working with other operators, you're looking at this camera and you see that it's red, you know that the person in the control room is actually on this angle. Yeah, so we'll check out the interview room now because this is a large portion about what we're doing as well. This is typically like they use it for like a green room. So when people are speaking or you have somebody who's coming in and they need a space to get ready, you can do that in here, but I completely just took it over and we're doing some interviews in here. We have all the Sony cameras in here now ready to go for the interviews. Quick technical breakdown of this. It's not like streamed or anything like that or going into the control room. We're just going right into the SD cards. We just have a 3-camera setup, 2 microphones going into the Zoom recorder, so that way we can monitor our audio and sync it up with this stuff in post. AI and software have been super helpful. Projects like this, right? So let's take it, you know, from here into the computer, right? We have 3 camera angles. We drag all 3 cameras in with our scratch audio. We drag our good clean audio in. We just highlight all the clips, hit synchronize, boom. And then Premiere Pro does the hard work for us. And then I just take AutoPod, and AutoPod will cut the camera based upon who's speaking on the audio file. So super easy, straightforward way to edit this type of sit-down interview with no time at all. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up this video. If you have any questions about this setup, I mean, I've been in this studio, you know, a handful of times. This is the first time that I've actually filmed a video in here for my channel about what's in here. I just think it's super cool to see other people set up, to educate them on how it's all done. And this studio has gone through multiple iterations of equipment and things, you know, upgrading audio boards and all this stuff. It's one of those things where you get in, you use something, and then you find, oh, there may be a better way to do it. So they were able to upgrade and change their things, and now the audio sounds really good. It's crisp. The wireless receivers are outside. They used to be in here, and it was causing static. So, you know, there's always things, you know, you learn as you go, and you pick up things from different people. Obviously, there's a lot of moving parts here, a lot of things that can go wrong, a lot of technical, you know, hardwares and softwares and cables and all that stuff. But hope you guys enjoyed this look into someone else's setup, and let me know if you have any questions down below. Happy to help.